Hello YouTube, today we have a Dell Inspiron 13, model number 7306, and it's for USB-C repair. The USB-C repair pricing is different from regular power jack repairs, so ignore the pricing here above. The pricing should be on usbcrepair.com. We are the first company in the United States to do USB-C repairs, and one of those connectors is here. I insulated the area because I want to desolder this guy. It looks good from here, so my guess is the rear pins came off the board. The problem with those is sometimes the rear pins come off the board and they take the board along with the connectors. So hopefully that's not the case, because otherwise there would be nothing to solder it to. So let's hope I would be able to make it work, because again, all information is on USB-C repair. There's a lot to read. It's not a straightforward repair like power jack repair. So let's see. All right, so let's inspect the rear pins. Doesn't look too bad. Let's see. Oh, looks bad. Okay, so you see some of the pins taken off the traces from the motherboard. So I'm seeing if I would be able to... Okay, so there are some pins that are important and some pins are not that important. To me, okay, so there is one very important pin that came off, which it's not gonna work without, and a second one right there. Okay. So technically, I think if I take it off and I put a brand new connector on and I run up a couple of wires, it should work. All right, so let's get this guy off of the motherboard. Let's power up the exhausts. All right. So in order to take it off the motherboard, we need to add some... Oh, wow, what's that on the side right there? Ah, this thing. What's that piece? Oh, it even moves like that. Oh, yeah. So you see this traces up, this traces up, that traces up. Ah, you can even see which ones are up. All right. Okay. Well, success rate for this guy is not that high. So... All right, so in order to remove everything properly, what I need to do is I need to add some flux. All right. And I need to power up the soldering irons too. They're not powered. All right, so we want to add some leaded base solder to those pins, because I don't want those pins to be left inside the holes. Don't be greedy on the solder. All right. And that will reduce the melting temperature of the unleaded base solder that the connector is using. All right, so we're good on this side. Let's take a look here. All right. All right, good job. I would want to add it on the rear pins as well, but the problem is it might take out some other pads that are still okay, like semi-okay. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna add some flux here. All right. Once I add the flux, I'm gonna bring in the hot air. All right. Okay. Let's fire up the hot air. Fire up second exhaust because it's gonna be a lot of toxic smell here. Alrighty, and you can see how badly the traces are taken off the motherboard. Yeah, nothing, that's not really good. No good here. Alright. All right, so the situation here is that you see some pins are stuck inside of the pads. So the goal is to get those pins out of there. And this big pad doesn't want to get desoldered. So what I'm gonna do is this. I'm gonna add more solder in there. All right. And then I will let my soldering iron rest a bit. Now once it recoups its energy at the tip, I will go over this guy one more time. All right, like that. I'm just trying to make sure that everything is nice and clear. And just there are some pads that I can see pins stuck in. Let's take a look. Oh. All right, so let's take a look. Yeah, so some of those you see, we got a pin stuck here. Basically, they broke off when the people start to wiggle the connectors. So my goal now is to get those pins unstuck and pushed through. Let's do it now. Need some space to push the guys through. All right, now let's take a look at the other side. You see those pins came out on this side. So let's remove those guys with the soldering iron. Come on. You see, it's quite difficult to get this guy out if you just do it by hand. The pins get stuck in there and such a pain to remove. All right, so I got one stuck right here and one hole right here that's doesn't wanna get cleaned up. Come on, go through. All right. All right. Good job. Excellent. Let's clean up a bit more. Looks good. All right, looks excellent. Good job. Now let's analyze what we can salvage here. Uh-huh. Let's take a look. Mm-hmm. All right, so the good news, it's probably gonna work on one side at least. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hard to say. Really, really, really hard to say if it's gonna work. No, it should work. Well, all right, let's make it work, all right? All right. I'm just cleaning everything up. All right, so this one is solid. That's good. This is solid. This one is not solid, but I should be able to solder it to here just fine. This guy seems like it's gonna be okay. Let's take a look. Yeah, this one's gonna be fine. And this guy here. All right, my concern is this damage trace here. I would really like it to be not damaged at all. Let me see. Yeah, I would really like this not to be damaged. Okay. All right. All right. Okay, looks good. Looks good. Okay. Okay, so again, this is kind of a mission impossible. I don't think anybody else gonna be doing this for you. But since the board is already here, I figured I might as well. Oh, by the way, I need to see if I have the connector for it first. Let me see what's this guy. I really need to get this guy breached from here to here. And the way to do it is probably, I'm not sure if the pin gonna go through. Oh, all right. Let's see. Let's see if this wire here. And that's the reason you spend a couple $1,000 on a microscope and $1,000 on a micro soldering iron. And you could spend indefinite amount of money here for this kind of repairs. And the reason we are the only ones in the United States that still work on those. I mean, maybe there's somebody else out there who does this kind of repair, but I doubt anybody gonna deal with broken traces like this trace, that trace, this trace is broken, this guy broken, this guy broken, this one partially broken. We will need to kind of short it here. This guy is now, we bypassed it like this one. You see how solid they are. This should be just like that one. And this is okay. We'll need to work on this guy. Those two are just data signals, which is no big deal. Anyways, let me find the connector like that one. All right, let's see. I found what seems like an identical connector. You got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Yeah. Seems like exactly the connector I need. We got this piece and that piece align. Those holes gonna align, and the rear pins are gonna align. This guy aligns, this guy aligns. Yeah. Beautiful. Exactly the same piece. All right, so when I put the connector in, I'm not sure right here. Did the pin go through or it didn't go through? Right there. Is that the pin going through? It's not the pin going through. Let's take a look. Let's take a closer look. Ah, the connector fell out. Okay. Let's put it back in again. Everything was going on so good. All right, it seems like all of them went through. All right, good. Let's see the pin alignment in the back. Yeah, pin alignment is good. All right, so what I want to do is put some pressure onto the sides and solder the connectors the best I can. Okay. All right, let's do this side first. Let's put some pressure. Uh-oh. All right. All right, pressure. Pressure. Anything? Okay. Let's do the one in the rear. Okay. All right, let's try a different soldering iron for the side one. All right. Not working out. All right. So let's flip it over and put some pressure onto the connector itself. Okay. Let's do some flux here and there. Good job. Well, the problem here is that all the pins are up in the air. That's not something I really wanted to have. Okay. But technically this is not the way how to do it, because the connector might be rocky after this. The reason they're up in the air because I added the trace here underneath this guy to make it work. So I need another wire from here to here. Okay, so let me run another wire here. I was hoping it would be sitting normally on the, or maybe because the pads are missing. No, I think it's because I run the wire and that wire is pressing the connector a bit up. Just keep it steady. Okay. All right. Okay. So let me make sure that the sides are gonna hold the connector in place just fine. So I'm gonna add a bit more solder. Looks good. Now let's all right. Hopefully my magic gonna work. This is magic. It's really magic. This whole thing gonna work. It doesn't seem like I soldered this guy on. This guy all the way in. All right, let's solder this guy a bit more. I mean, it's soldered, but just wanna be sure. Okay, good job. Excellent. Okay, so clean this guy up too, as well. All right. Uh-oh. Seems like there's not enough solder here. Not enough solder right there. Or is there? No, empty and empty. Okay. So let's add some. solder here. All right, and some solder right there. Good job. All right. And that's the reason why we charge so much, because replacing just one piece, it's not that hard to replace it if you don't break anything, if the pads are still intact. But if the pads are not intact, then you can spend all day working just on one connector because the traces are missing. All right, so I will let it dry. Then we're gonna test it. Alrighty, so once it dried up, let's plug it in, and see what we get. Again, usbcrepair.com. And let's do some support right there like that. All right. Well, some work, some don't, obviously. But the most important ones seems like they work. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, it's my understanding that it's only gonna work this way upwards. This side conducts everything just fine. Okay. Let's plug in the charger. Do I have a USB-C charger here someplace? I do have a charger here. Plug in the charger into this socket. All right, let's plug in the USB-C tester. Make sure it's nice and clean because they all get flux on the inside, so I need to make sure it's all relatively clean. Okay, like that. Now. Yeah, we got 20 volts right there. All right, let's flip this guy over. And we got 20 volts this way as well. All right, so the repair was successful. As long as the client doesn't wiggle it too much around, it should be working fine. I would honestly put some hot glue in the back there to keep the wires from moving anywhere. But I'm sure the client gonna complain saying, what did you do? Why did you put hot glue? You don't do that in the repair. So for those who want to put for me to put some hot glue there, I will put some hot glue in the back. It's not gonna cost anything extra. It will keep the wires from moving back and forth. But the connector sits pretty tight, and yeah, works on either way, 20 volts. All right, I can even probably measure 20 volts right. Where would I measure 20 volts? Where else? Do we have any? No, the thing is, if I'm gonna start measuring voltage someplace else here, I might damage something. So as long as this guy shows me 20 volts, I'm happy. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, and you guys take care and have a good day. Thanks. Bye.